Ventures lay just around the bend. So for all those new people that are coming in, and we're going to do a massive shout out to everybody who has a birthday today. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. And for all those having an anniversary today, happy anniversary. Happy anniversary. Happy anniversary. Happy anniversary. Happy anniversary. Happy anniversary to you. And massive love. Shout out to every single person on the planet. Woo! So from wherever you are, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night. 80% of everything we make from this channel goes directly into the reduction of SHIB. SHIB TV Live Broadcasting Network is associated with everybody in SHIB. Thank you so much for coming in, everybody. I really appreciate all those that subscribe, like, and comment on the channel. Absolutely. Absolutely. So we're going to get right into tonight's conversation, which is SHIB. Well, there you go, right? Go figure. Why would we talk about SHIB on SHIB TV Broadcasting Network? Good question. So I was looking into it. I heard some great news, but it's just a rumor that the U.S. has reopened. Well, that's just a rumor. When you do a fact check on it, they're not opening. They haven't opened anyway. They may open tomorrow morning or tomorrow afternoon, but we don't know that for sure. But the news that's out there right now, I think, is just trying to spark some hype into the marketplaces. People are getting, a little sick and tired of having the U.S. Fed shut down, stopping people from getting their wages. So those in the military, if you noticed, have not been getting a paycheck for over a month and a half. The FDA, which is a big one, not getting their paychecks for over a month and a half. A lot of them are going elsewhere for their paychecks, which is phenomenal. And then you have people on TikTok blaming who? You have people on TikTok blaming the Republicans, but it's the actual Democrats that have shut down the government. So massive shout out to you. Amelia! Massive shout out to Amelia. Thank you so much for subscribing to the channel, Amelia. And how are you? And yes, we want to say prayers for every single person in the Philippines right now as they are going through a massive, massive storm. So massive shout out to them. And our prayers and our thoughts are with you always in the Philippines. Just like those in Jamaica, we really appreciate those that say prayers. Shut the front door. There you go. Apps. Gray 699. Massive shout out to you. Interesting. Apps. Respect in the channel, please. This is SHIB channel. So if you're in the wrong place, all you do is vacate. Ice Chillers. Ice Chillers, how are you? How is everybody? Key causes, failure to pass funding legislation. So that's the Congress not opening the doors. Broadcast politics context. GOP control with the internal futures. Gray 699. So we're talking about SHIB. Right now we're talking about politics because the U.S. closing the doors for this long is hurting our cryptocurrencies, if you haven't noticed. So there's a lot of people that are coming out and saying some derogatory stuff that is starting some rumors that the U.S. is opening, but I'm not sure if they are or not, but doesn't really matter. Okay, apps, you're warned. Okay, you can't say stuff like that, apps. More 1973 banned pre-grated cheese from supermarket. Go. RK Maslov show to you. When is SHIB going to a penny? When is SHIB going to a penny? Great. I can't tell you that. I wish I could. There's certain things you got to watch for before you start seeing massive movements to the upside. One is the Federal Reserve opening up. The House of Commons has to open. So that's one thing. The other thing is massive adoption from worldwide. So if you told everybody about SHIB reducing its circulating supply, constantly adding value to every single person on the planet, we would see a massive shift if everybody got on board and started purchasing SHIB and then using that currency as a global catalyst. So they'd have to start using it to buy their goods and services. Now, not everybody can do that. I understand. There are cards going out. Once I get those cards, I'll let you know. Ice chillers, yes and no. We like Trump for shutting the border down. We love Trump for what? Crime prevention, because that's what he's about, crime prevention. Do we like him about the tariffs? Well, he's trying to help America. I mean, listen, Biden did a number. And look, if you don't believe me, take a good look at Canada. All our investments are leaving Canada. We're losing jobs, tens of thousands every month in Canada. If that were happening in the States, it would be 100,000 jobs being lost per day in the States, as opposed to Canada losing 10,000 jobs a month. You can't, when you have that kind of deterioration, and then the government going out there and they're going to spend their way out of it, you know for a fact that it's going to get worse. It's not going to get any better. So the economics hurts everybody. Now, you can say what you like about Trump, but Trump is actually doing a wonderful thing for the United States. I just wish we had someone up here that knew what they're talking about, that was actually going to step into Parliament and do what needs to be done. Right? How would you do that? You lower the taxes. The first thing you have to do is get rid of the corporate taxes, because those corporations are leaving Canada. We already had 2 million Canadians leave Canada and flee elsewhere. And a lot of them are businessmen taking their businesses and going elsewhere. Oh, Jets, Israel question. We love Israel. No, I'm not Satoshi. No. No affiliation. I've done a lot of research in SHIB. And SHIB is, in my opinion, the best ever currency in the entire world. You'll never see this currency ever again. The fact that people haven't been talking about it just blows my mind. Because you should at least own a lottery ticket's worth of SHIB. And we tell everybody we are not your financial advisor, so I guess we can get right into this. I'm not your financial advisor. I'm not your broker. So that's my disclaimer. Okay? This is not financial advice whatsoever. This is for your entertainment and educational purposes only. I don't know your financial situations. All I can do is suggest, okay, for everybody that doesn't know about SHIB, it's a cryptocurrency. And it doesn't cost you very much. Right now it's at 401004. When I last looked at it, I'll check it out right now. It is at 40100335. So it hasn't changed much. What is SHIB? Block top. So SHIB is a cryptocurrency. It is the only cryptocurrency that is publicly removing its circulating supply. I'm going to say this again to you. It's zero replenishment, zero governance, which means no wages. It's for investors, by investors, with a publicly reducing circulating supply. You can burn it, I can burn it, corporations can burn it. Why should you burn it when corporates make money burning it and get paid to burn it? I got a book coming out that's going to explain it to all the corporations around the world. Ice chillers, you should get I already have a good government job. That's why 80% of everything we make from the channel goes towards reducing the circulating supply of SHIB. I'm 55. I'm just going to call you Suede. Done. Ice chillers, nice. You like that? Thank you, ice chillers. Excellent. Okay, you get $50. I'm just kidding. Buy SHIB. It's only going to cost you approximately $10.10 to buy 1 million SHIB. That's a lottery ticket, right? That's why we say treat it like a lottery ticket. Only buy what you can afford to lose. SHIB is that revenue stream that you're looking for. It's cheap to get in. And then you just, whenever you buy a lottery ticket, that's when you buy your SHIB. That's it. You're 25, Swede. Oh, sorry about that. Greg, hold on, Greg. I'll get right down to it. Okay, Greg, the King's speech, or the King. Listen, you want to know what the King is? Take a good look at Canada. Okay? Take a damn good look at Canada. Then I want you to look at the UK. Then I want you to look at Australia and everyone under the Commonwealth. What is going on with those countries? You think it's bad in your neck of the woods? I want you to look at our neck of the woods when we're losing 10,000 jobs every month because investment's leaving Canada. And then you look down there and you go, well, he's not really a king. He's just doing what's best for the government. He's doing what's best for you, the people in America. And everybody's knocking him for it. I don't know why, but we have a guy up here that's spending his way out of everything. And he's invested in the United States of America. So what does that tell you about your America when you have 98% of the prime minister invested in the United States? And then he doesn't want to do any deals when it comes to tariffs. Like he avoids going down there and talking about tariffs. He just avoids it. He wants the tariffs. The higher, the better. Because if the American's making more money, he's making more money. Canada's losing jobs like all the time. So if we're losing jobs and that's what you want in the United States, you really think about that for a second. The U.S. is making more jobs, getting more jobs. Stellantis left us and went to the United States. They took $14 billion of our money, our hard-earned money, and fled and gone to the States to build a power plant, a vehicle assembly plant down in the United States, right? Oklahoma. So all the people in Oklahoma, yay! They just inherited 10,000 jobs. Yay! What did Canada lose? 10,000 jobs. Yay! Canada. So you like it? You like it where you want to come up to Canada and start looking for a job because there isn't any? Come. You're more than welcome. You like woke? You're going to love it in Canada. We got lots of woke. They want to spend their way out of it. They're already telling, listen, we have 34% unemployment in Canada for young people. 34%. And then the Carney, our prime minister, tells them, listen, you're going to have to suffer a little bit more, a couple more years. A what? They've been suffering for 10. You want them to suffer for another 5 to 6 years, Carney? 34%. So what are you talking about? 60, 70% unemployment for youth in Canada? That's awesome. I don't know about the rest of you, but I'd be very upset if I was Canadian. Very upset. When will SHIB go to the moon? How many are promoting SHIB at this channel? How many people are promoting it? Did you know that we have a raffle? Yeah, we do a raffle. Everybody wins in this raffle. How does everybody win in a raffle? Good question. 50% goes to the winner. 50% goes towards the reduction. So, like I said, anyone and everyone can reduce SHIB circulating supply. So if everybody took advantage of the raffle, we could double your money every single day if we held the raffle every single day. I changed the raffle rules because there wasn't a lot of people coming in and paying attention to the raffle and promoting it, because all you need to do is promote it. People start catching on to it, and all of a sudden you start to see the reduction and the person getting paid the amount that we got for the raffle. So it's a win-win situation. We'd only do 1 million pounds. So the winner only gets 1 million pounds worth of SHIB. That's our max per person. Burning SHIB confuses people. How about reducing, removing, depleting, relinquishing? Does that confuse people? You know, people have no problem with Doge because they're minting more coins so they can pay the people staking it. So it's working opposite of what you want, because it's constantly what? When you mint more coins, what happens to the supply? It drives the value of that remaining supply down. So when you are reducing the supply, you're adding value to the bottom line of what's remaining. So everybody's winning, but they don't see that as value. That's the problem, because they're so used to it being minting it. They understand minting it. They don't understand depleting it or reducing or removing the circulating supply, adding more value. That's why we said the Mickey Mantle scenario. Mickey Mantle, everybody knows Mickey Mantle. Back in 1952, if you had a Mickey Mantle card, you were what? Very wealthy? No, it was only worth 5 cents. Most kids stuck it on the back of their bike and used it as, oh, it sounds like a motorbike if I put it between my spokes. Right? How many people how many people traded the baseball cards back in the day? Exactly. No one ever thought that it would add up to anything. So Mickey Mantle cards, 2022, Mickey Mantle card, rookie card, sold 1952, sold for $12.6 million back in 2022. $12.6 million. Hans Wagner baseball card, 1920 something. Hans Wagner, it sold for $12.9 million last year. Yeah, $12.9 million. Now, why are those cards selling for so high? Less supply, higher demand. They're only in the United States, though. So we're talking global. We're talking 5.3 billion people finding out about SHIB. Obviously, it hasn't happened yet because, as Iceberg said, when could it go up? As soon as they find out it's a Mickey Mantle card, everybody's going to want to buy it because it's constantly doing what? Reducing its supply. And then corporations are getting paid to reduce it, so they're getting paid to make money. So if they were to take $2.50 and buy it, and then $2.50 and burn it, that's a cup of coffee a day, guys. And these corporations have 10 million organizational stores worldwide. So you get that? Do I think the United States will ever get nuked? No. Everybody understands nuclear winter. Do you guys all understand nuclear winter? What's fallout mean? Okay, so you have nuclear explosion. You know when they bombed the desert, right? They thought they weren't harming anything. They actually destroyed hundreds of thousands of crops in South America from the fallout. Just from the fallout. Hundreds of thousands of acres. No. Interesting fact. Yeah, ice chillers, dang. People nuking you? Okay, come on. There's scientists that work around the clock to look at these astronomical events that happen, even in when the French was doing their nuclear testing. it's not feasible for them to nuke anything except for in space. So the only reason why I can see them keeping the nuclear weapons is because it's a threat, and they don't want to be the only ones without. So there's no way. But the fallout is facts. Chernobyl, if you remember Chernobyl, like 10 miles of Chernobyl, you can't. There's no one that can go near it. Even today, the radiation is so high, even after 50 years, like it's incredible. It's just insane. One, two, three. Okay, we're getting sidetracked on different aspects of the world economies. First of all, you have to understand a few fun facts. Everybody loves their country, right? Only those that hate, like dictators, like you don't get very many people who hate their country that much. They're willing to kill everything around it so they can survive. Because they don't survive. The winds change and wipe out your own people. Like, I know Hitler wiped out his own people. He was even Jewish, right? And he hated his own people. He hated Germany. I mean, come on, 60 million people that guy killed on both sides. So he hated his own country too. So I mean, that says a lot, right? We don't get very many of them, thank God, that we don't have that many angry people out there that want to kill everything, like literally destroy everything. That's why they call it pure evil. Because what does the devil want to do? Destroy everything. Leave nothing unturned, right? Destroy it all. That's why the devil has a hard time building something new, because he doesn't want it. He wants to destroy it. That's the truth of it. So, do I think it's going to get nuked? I would bet my bottom dollar it would never happen. Now, does that mean it will never happen? No, it doesn't mean that, just because we still have nuclear weapons available. But the chances of it are very, very slim to none. Because even Vladimir Putin loves his own country. He loves it. He doesn't like bombing his own country. If he did, he would be like Stalin, and I'm not putting up with this anymore. Right? Stalin was genocide. Because he wanted control. And it wasn't him that wanted the control, it was his lieutenants that wanted the control. Stalin was happy just to walk around and be proud to be a Russian. But his lieutenants had other things, because he was like, well, maybe we should get rid of that person. He says, no, that person's already gone. It's like, because he already did it for him, right? They're like crazy. You lost faith in SHIB? James, I'm sorry to hear that, buddy. You should never lose faith in something that's constantly adding value. That's the truth of it. It may not gain in price, okay? And I don't mean that in a literal sense. It's just that we're always adding value. It's just not being seen by the people that are investing in it. Nuclear is your favorite. Favorite what? Devastation? Because you can't live on the land? Like, does that make any sense to anybody? You can't grow anything. The vegetation is destructive to you. It's poison. So, like, you guys have watched movies. You guys all seen the fallouts. None of it's any good. Like, that's just insane, in my opinion. And James, I'm sorry you lost faith in SHIB. You should not lose faith in anything that's reducing its circulating supply. You should always be practicing purchasing small amounts then. Treat it like a lottery ticket. Don't go all in. Please do not go all in on SHIB. Now, we start to see certain things happening, like AI taking over. Absolutely. We have GrayScale. They just put out a spot ETF in the USA on SHIB. 1.7 trillion is being held by GrayScale. GrayScale is who? Anyone know who GrayScale is? Your friend is nuclear. 67. Weebug. Okay, for all those that are new and you haven't subscribed to the channel, make sure you do so to keep up to date on what's going on in SHIB. We're going to keep this short tonight because it is Sunday after all, and it was Sunday night football for all those that are football fans and who watched it. Congratulations. I never saw it. I never saw the football game. Right now we're listening to the hockey game upstairs. I know that the Blue Jays lost the World Series, and congratulations to the Dodgers for all those Dodger fans out there and everybody in the United States that was cheering on the Dodgers. Congratulations for winning the World Series, which is fantastic, right? SHIB wallet holders, for all those that care, like James, he should care about this. 1,555,000. 1,555,001. 51,000. 551,000 SHIB wallet holders, 287 on Etherscan.io. If you watched me yesterday or on Friday, because TGIF, we do a little bit of the war room, talk about AI and its practices in SHIB, because we're looking for that. Last 48 hours to 24 hours, we had little or no volume. So we have a little bit of an up and down cycle trends when there's low volume. It's good and bad. When people realize that SHIB is constantly adding value, that's when SHIB is going to take off. And SHIB is going to take off like a bat out of hell. Because why? When people realize that, hey, wait a second, there isn't infinite supply, it's constantly reducing its supply, therefore it's constantly adding value. So if you want to sell something that's worth more and you want to sell it for less, knock yourself out. Knock your socks off. I don't know about anyone in here. How many people have a house? Okay, when your house value goes down, do you like selling your house? Anybody? I'm going to treat SHIB the same way. In fact, I'm going to treat it a lot better, because the housing market, everybody's building houses all the time. SHIB is tearing down its currency. It's reducing, it's restricting its currency. Therefore, adding value into every single wallet holder on the planet. It's the only currency on the planet that does so. Now, you may think that your currency or whatever currency that you're thinking of, it doesn't. It's got to go through governance. Governance ruins everything. How do you know that? Well, because you've been around enough times, know what the financial sector has done. And if you're smart, you get into stuff that's been around for 30, 50, 100, 200 years and has a market cap of probably around $30 billion, like most banks, right? Most major banks. And is it secure? No, it's not even secure in there. But it's got more security. It's got more leverage in those than they do in anything else. SHIB is the only currency reducing its circulating supply. So do we say get all in? No, we say treat it like a lottery ticket, buy in slowly, right? Every time there's a lottery draw, you buy $5 tickets. You do the exact same thing. You buy you buy a $5 worth of SHIB. If you don't like the $2 fee that they're charging you, you wait until the end of the month then, or every 2 weeks, or bi-monthly if you want, because it's usually around 50 cents to $2 to get into SHIB. So, yeah, there you go, James. That's exactly what I was talking about. Yes, SHIB is cryptocurrency. So that's why we say treat it like a lottery ticket, because what happens when you lose in a lottery? What do? Damn it, it's rigged. But you go and buy another ticket. Well, yeah, because it's $25 million possibly in my pocket. Exactly. Every person on the planet feels the exact same way. Rocco Nation. We meet up, Rocco? We're live out of Calgary, Alberta, Canada. We're live. We're live. And we got news, and I didn't want to get taken too far up with that. 3 point market cap of around 6 billion, up 2.42% in the last 24 hours. The lottery, yeah, lottery. So for those that don't know what a lottery is, you don't have it in your country because some countries don't allow you to do lottery. The lottery is basically, well, here in Canada, I'm going to break it down. Here in Canada, we have minimum $4 million. And it costs you $4 to buy a lottery ticket. And the chances of winning are 1 in 14 million. So to get a lottery, that's one lottery. Then the other lottery is 1 in 32 million. But it starts off at 15 million. So, and it costs $6. Roughly $5 gets you in without the plus. So it's roughly around $5 for the lottery. There's 2 draws a week. That's $10. So in Canada, that would be a $10 pull. You're investing $20, right? That's how you treat it. $10 for each. $10 for the lottery, $10 to buy an SHIB. If you don't have it, then you split it. Okay, $5 for this lottery, $5 for SHIB. It's the easiest way I can explain it to you. And then because the fees, you want to wait 2 weeks for the fees? Absolutely. So you wait 2 weeks, that's 4 draws or 2 draws, $20. Treat it the exact same way. Every single person on the planet should be doing it. If everybody was doing that, what would happen? There would be no supply left. Exactly. There's only about 82 trillion SHIB left in circulation, and that's depleting fast, especially the ETFs that are coming out. We already have 2 throughout the world. One's in Switzerland, one's in Brazil, already out there. There's 2 more coming for SHIB. One's a spot ETF, and the other one's through T-Row. So I told you about GrayScale, and the one that's in Europe is Valor, and then we're expecting more. 1 in Asia, or 2 or 3 in Asia. We're not sure exactly when they're going to come out, but we know they're coming. So ADA is an altcoin. So ADA is good buy. And we recommend ADA when we have the down cycle. And you want to start when it goes to back to where it is now, you want to start piling in later, not now. Okay, now you pile in to take profit. So don't stake it until it starts its downtrend. Once it's down its downtrend, which is probably next year, roughly around August, it should start bottoming out and then start its climb back up towards October. Now, it'll go back down in January of 2027. Okay, so it does these cycles, little cycles, and it's based on the 4-year cycle. Now, this cycle is lagging, if you haven't noticed. Everybody's so mad at me because we're supposed to go up 20, 30, 40, 50x my money. I'm like, well, I'm sorry. It's the U.S. shut down. We had a whole bunch of things happen. We had some new catalysts come in just recently. November, roughly around Halloween, we had catalysts for the U.S. Fed reducing the Fed's rates by 25 basis points. And then the next, over the weekend, he announces that there may not be, highly unlikely that there will be a rate cut before Christmas. So that kind of spooked the market. But the Fed's funds rates does this all the time. It shouldn't be any surprise to anybody. Thank you. I try and be as fun and polite as I can for the rest of you in the world so that everybody can enjoy the show. Exactly. So that everybody knows what we're talking about and everybody can relate to SHIB. That's what we're talking about. So, and a lot of my old customers say, this gets repetitive, don't it? I'm like, well, it does. But we're just trying to educate the world. And not everybody knows about it, obviously. There's 5.3 billion, and we want everybody to know about it. We want everybody to live long and prosper in SHIB. We want you all to understand what it is And once you understand what it is, you'll have no problem holding some of it till it actually gets to a point where it's like I'm able to do something with it. Like it's fundamentally in my best interest because it's going to make me so much money. Exactly. A lot of people lost that, like James. I've been holding it for years. Well, James, if you've been holding it for years, you've already made some money on it because SHIB did go up. Now, like me, I didn't sell it either when it got to the highest point. And because I'm afraid that everybody catches on to it, it's going to go skyrocketing. There's a whole lot of different things that can happen with SHIB that can make it explode instantaneously. And what's probably going to happen is all those things are going to start coming together all at once. And that's the scary part of SHIB. So the exchanges not burning SHIB to increase volume, which increases their money, hasn't happened. Binance did it. They did it for 6 months, 6 times. 6 times, $6 billion they've taken off the market every quarter. And they started reducing it. Do you think any of the other exchanges did it? Nope. Right? If they did that, what would happen with SHIB? It would take off. How about the cryptocurrencies? They want to solidify themselves. How many of them are reducing SHIB while buying more SHIB? None of them have started it. Okay, we had one crypto exchange do it, and they went up, and they sold all of their SHIB. Journey. So anyone knows about Journey? Journey went under, had to claim bankruptcy. They lent out more than they were making. Go figure. Makes a difference from every other fork. Well, yeah, we don't talk about the charts. We don't get into the ROIs. We don't get into the Bollinger Bands. We talk right straight from the heart. We talk right straight from the facts. Okay? We only share the facts on this channel. The reason why that is because it doesn't make sense to us. Why is something selling off when you're constantly reducing the supply? So you have less supply, more demand, because you have more wallet holders coming in. A lot of people say that those wallet holders are not holding very much SHIB. You still have to own SHIB. In order to be a wallet holder, you have to have some SHIB in there. Now, again, wallets are not people. So we don't know how many people are actually in SHIB. We do know the wallet holders are growing faster and faster. And as more people start catching on that, hey, wait a second, I'm going to make money when corporations reduce the supply. And it's just a matter of time before they find this out. Yes. So when do you want to start buying it? When everybody else is buying it or before everyone else starts buying it? That's the question you have to ask yourself. And are you okay with it taking a 30 to 40% downturn? Because it's highly volatile. You got to answer that. And only you can answer that. So some people can't. Like James, he can't. He has a hard time. But like we said, don't go all in. $50, $20, $10, $5 every week, every other week, every payday you put $10 into it. Whatever it is that you can afford and treat it like a lottery ticket, that's what you stick into it. And if you don't have the patience for it, don't ask for patience, please. Ask for wisdom. Always ask for wisdom. Never ask for patience. We talked about that on Friday for everybody. And why is that important? Because it is the crucial part of SHIB. You have to understand that reducing supply adds value to every single one of you. 80% of everything we make on this channel goes towards the reduction of SHIB. And yes, we know about the new regulations on cryptocurrencies on YouTube. That's coming up. But we don't talk about SHIB that way. Okay, so I'm going to get into some news. Top global headlines onto Spotlight. Bitcoin's big bounce from 100K to 106K. Opener. And XRP $1 trillion ambitious in payments. Analysts are buzzing about Ripple's XRP isn't just for billionaires, or not just for billions. It's primed for trillions in the global flows, especially in existing regs in Japan and the UK. Unlike any other. Unlike any other. Imagine if your currency, they said to you, listen, we're done spending money. We're going to focus on us. Okay, we're going to start increasing the amount of people coming into our country, but we're not printing any more of our currency. So every 3 years, when we burn our currency, we're not replenishing it. What do you think is going to happen to your dollar or your currency? What do you think is going to happen to your currency? That's what I'm talking about. So what do you think is going to happen to your currency? If your government stops printing money and they say, we're not making any more money, what's going to happen with your currency? The dollar value. Because right now, every time you mint your dollar, it loses value. It loses purchasing power. Every single time you mint more coins. Okay, it loses value. You're losing value. If you start reducing the circulating supply of your currency, your dollar is going to start going up in price. You're going to start gaining value for your dollar. Your purchasing power has now escalated. SHIB is exactly that. SHIB is the only currency that's doing it. Okay? A lot of people are going to say, oh, Ripple's doing it. Yeah, but you can't possibly burn it. You personally can't burn it. That's the number one thing. SHIB is the only one in the entire world that's actually reducing its circulating supply from anyone and everyone in the world. That should, wow. That's a wow moment. No, every day. Here, I'll show you. SHIBburn.com. We can prove it. This is your catalyst, or your not catalyst. Anyway, 436DF6C. That's the wallet address that burned 100,875 SHIBs today. And that was done 4 hours ago. 3 hours ago, from the same wallet address, burned 102,000 SHIB today. 3 hours ago. 2 hours ago was 49,431 SHIB burned. Today, 2 hours ago. 7 hours ago was 108 SHIB, which doesn't make much sense because it's less than 10 cents, 20 cents, something like that. Really doesn't make much sense. 10 hours ago, different wallet address, FD774CD9, burned 109 SHIBs. 12 hours ago, 36DF6C, burned 103,000 SHIB last 12 hours ago. This is happening on a daily basis, guys. Ladies and gentlemen, it happens daily. Okay? Sometimes it's 12, 13, 14 million. 12, 13, 14 million is only how much? $100. Less than $100. Okay, so yay! For you to burn 1 million is $10, right? So you're burning 100 million. You're burning a lot. Okay, I don't know who's burning it, Mort. We don't recommend anyone burn their own supply. Corporations make money burning it. They haven't figured it out yet. Because if they think about it, if they figured it out, where should SHIB be? There would be no supply. 10 million organizations across the planet, they all find out that they can burn SHIB and get paid to burn it and get paid to invest it. That's right. They're getting paid to do both. So this stream is SHIB TV Live Broadcasting Network. For those that didn't catch it the first time, Chuck. So that's the whole thing about SHIB. A lot of people don't understand it. I try to explain it the way I'm trying to explain to you, like the easiest way I know how. The easiest is Mickey Mantle. The Mickey Mantle card. Back in 1952 was worth 5 cents. Now SHIB isn't worth nowhere near 5 cents. So you're able to go back in time, buy SHIB, have a look at what it's going to be in the future, because you know for a fact anything that reduces the circulating supply and everybody else taking it for granted is going to get what? Squeezed. Every single one of them are going to get squeezed eventually because you're constantly reducing the circulating supply. And when organizations find out about it, like I said, exchanges can burn SHIB at no cost to themselves, really, and increase the volume, making them even more money. So if all of them did it together, they all have to do it together. That's the paradox of SHIB. All of them have to do it together to make a difference. Just like we wanted Starbucks or McDonald's or Burger King to start reducing SHIB while buying SHIB, because you're not going to do both, right? You're not going to do one without the other. You're going to buy more than you're going to reduce. Does that make sense? Everybody get that? So if they're buying $6 worth, they're only going to reduce $4 worth or $5 worth every single day. But there's 10 million of them. Within a month, we have no supply. Well, how'd that happen? Well, because there's so many of them around, and they're not going to let themselves tell their best buddies about it. So all the ones that are counterintuitive, that are in the same boat, they're all going to be doing the exact same thing. It's going to be like a wildfire. And that's the domino effect. The snowball effect was the word of mouth getting out to everybody, telling them about, hey, might want to get your butt in gear and buy some before it explodes. We don't know when it's going to explode. Remember that this cryptocurrency doesn't have a halving. It's constantly reducing its circulating supply. It's constantly reducing its supply. Yes, this is about crypto. It's about SHIB. It's particularly SHIB. It's the only currency in the world that you and I can reduce the supply. That should literally make your hair stand up and say, oh my God, how come no one else has told me about this? How come no one else has figured this out? Exactly. Everyone's figured it out. They just can't believe that it hasn't happened yet. Okay, so SHIB doesn't have a blockchain. The ecosystem development team created a blockchain. Ethereum created a blockchain for SHIB. So Ethereum created the REC20 token, right? Tokenomics. So it's on their platform. But it's a token. It can be transferred anywhere throughout the world. So it's not a coin. Doge, on the other hand, has to go towards an exchange that's utilizing its platform. So that's the difference in coins. Tokens have more flexibility. Coins don't. But coins are getting to the point where they could actually start being put on different exchanges, and then they can be staked on those exchanges. So it's got its own dynamics in certain ways than others. $10.10, 23.06. So yeah, I know what you're thinking. And SHIB is a token. It doesn't have a blockchain. Shibarium, layer 2 blockchain. But it doesn't have a coin associated with Shibarium. So you'd have to buy treat, bone, leash through the ecosystem development team. And of course, we don't support the ecosystem development team because they're all about them. They're not about SHIB. WLF. World Liberty Financial. Why? What's up with WLF? I'm great. Thanks, Brazil. Yeah, you guys have an ETF in SHIB. Unfortunately, it's not the only basket. It's roughly 14 different cryptocurrencies in that basket in Brazil. So that's amazing that they have their own, and that there's a certain amount of SHIB held in that ETF in Brazil. So everybody that's new and are in Peru and Brazil, you can transfer funds into the ETF, and it's more secure through the ETF. Pooch. French Canadian. Buy Pepe. Shiba is dead. Interesting concept. Bull. Someone who comes on and then puts his name out there, Bull, and asks him to buy anything. Not a good sign. Not a good sign. Bull. So Pepe, you like Pepe? It's all on hype. Hype's great. Booch. Oh wow! I thought is it El Salvador? El Salvador is the number one BTC because they've actually added BTC as a currency above and beyond their own. So that's amazing that they would go with BTC rather than gold. But I can understand why. Tenant. Okay, so a meme coin is all on hype. So Pepe is hype. Doge was hype. It solidified itself. Doge solidified itself as a top dog on the memes. So it always has more of a catalyst behind it, even because it has staking. Pepe, SHIB, and the rest of them. What is it? Dogs with hats. Baby Doge. There's so many different memes out there. And is SHIB a meme? It lost its meme. According to me, when did SHIB lose its meme status? Vitalik Buterin. Dead end wallets. 3 dead end wallets. When you send the currency to those wallets, it's gone forever. Depletion, reduction, removal, extermination. Exterminate the supply. That's exactly what happens in SHIB. So once those are sent there, they're gone forever. He burned 410 trillion SHIB. He was given 50% of the supply. He burned 410 trillion of that supply. Once that happened, that meant that SHIB is no longer a meme coin any longer. It now has what? And I was going to say catalyst, but it's not the catalyst. It has it's it's on the tip of my tongue. Yes, fart coin is real, unfortunately. They came out with a crap coin like Dork. I mean, remember Dork? Like these coins come out all the time, and they're thinking, oh, they're funny. They're anecdotally funny, so everybody's going to want to buy them. Really? My Lady, remember My Lady? You can't buy it. For me, I can't buy it. I have to be in Asia or Africa to buy My Lady. And My Lady was very, very cheap. I don't know what it is now. And I stopped looking at My Lady because, and it was funny, right? It's My Lady. But if you're in Europe and in South America, you could possibly buy it. No, I wish I would have known about SHIB back in 2020. I would have put a little bit of money into it. I don't think I would have stuck very much into it because it was on hype. And a lot of people lost money. A lot of people made money. And people who didn't make money got, they're crying a lot. And the ones that got stuck at the highest end of it, because what happens when people start seeing it rise, come out of nowhere, 72 million% increase. I mean, if you had $100, you're a millionaire, multi-millionaire. If you put 1,000, you're multi-billionaire in SHIB. Will it happen again? Of course it's going to happen again. The question is when? Everybody's like the same thing. When is it going to happen? I don't know. Should have happened already. Absolutely should have happened already. It's a miracle it hasn't. Honestly, it's a miracle it hasn't. Just on a simulation standpoint and everybody finding out about it, it should have gone up already. In theory, SHIB should never go down in price. In theory, if it's constantly doing what? You're constantly buying more. People are constantly buying more wallet holders, and more reductions. So why is the price going down? Good question. That just means that the people selling it have a lot more of selling it than people who are buying it. So people who are buying it are smart. They're only buying what they can afford to lose. The ones that are selling it aren't very smart because they're selling something of value. That's how I look at it. That's how you should look at it. That's how everyone on the planet should look at it. Someone selling something for less money, it's an opportunity. That's how you should look at it. So PancakeSwap is an exchange. And PancakeSwap should have been doing that exact same thing that I've been talking about. They should have been reducing SHIB circulating supply. They're sitting on a mountain of it. Well, they're not sitting on a mountain of it. They're only sitting on a few, 500 billion SHIB. The U.S. government is sitting on 58 billion that they confiscated. They're not selling it. It's going into a fund. So trying to bring awareness to it because I don't want to see anyone get left out. Is SHIB legal in Cambodia? As far as I know, it is. The only ones that are restricting SHIB were in Africa. Want to look at the Kuwaiti dollar? $5.38 US. So why is that? Why is their dollar so high? Their population, by the way, is only 5 million people. So you figure that one out. No, I'm not from Iraq. Iraq's nice, eh? Big cities, spread out, majority Muslim. Nothing wrong with Muslims. You know, they have the Quran. 5 billion people. Iraq doesn't have 5 billion people. China and India are the biggest contributors of population throughout the world. And they only have 1.2 billion in each of their countries. In China, you can't have any more kids. The only way you can have another kid is if your other kid is extremely disabled. No, not even close. U.S., okay, the U.S. has the highest GDP in the world. What does that mean? Gross domestic product. What does that mean? So, we're going to get into a history lesson. Okay, history lesson number 1. Everyone wants to deal with the U.S. Why? The highest spending ratio in the world. Thanks God that we have the U.S. of A. Because if you want to sell anything, you're selling it to the United States of America. Why? 245 million people willing to buy whatever it is that comes on the market. That's why they have the highest GDP. 30 trillion US dollars per year per capita. That's awesome. There's no other country in the world that even comes close. Even comes close. Yeah, well, they have the highest debt in the world. That's true, they do. But they also have the highest GDP in the world. Canada only has 1.2. And it's depreciating. It's not even real facts. Because now it's like less than 1 trillion. Now it's like 990 something billion. Because of our prime minister and our policies here in Canada. That's why I say, if you don't like it where you are, come to Canada. Within a month, you'll change your mind and move back. And then you'll be thankful for what you have down there. And it's going to surpass that. It's going to well surpass that. The question is, do you have the stomach for it? Can you take the volatility? And are we headed for a bull run? Are we slow in the bull run? A lot of analysts think we are. So we're behind the 8 ball. So the thing is that if you listen to people and say it's dead, where they want to buy more, waiting for the government or waiting for whatever it is they're waiting for, telling everybody to get out, buy something else. Remember that it's cryptocurrency. All the cryptocurrencies move the exact same way, same time frame, roughly. So if you don't like something, just wait a little while. It's going to pan out for you. ADA is going to be quicker. XRP should be quicker. But XRP, you're looking at about 5x max. SHIB, you're looking at 50 to 60x max in the next bull cycle. Now, that all changes if we have AI taking advantage. If people are buying the SHIB raffle tickets, that all changes very, very rapidly. All of a sudden, you start seeing the depreciating supply of SHIB increasing the value of every single wall holder on the planet. That's going to give it back to you extremely fast and formidable. Tree seeds, buy seeds. In forests, you are a forester. You'd buy lumber in the United States. It's the only way I could say it. Oh, it's 3:43 in Tenant. You're in the UK. Thank you so much for coming, Tenant. Nice chills. Oh yeah, Larry. You take one of those apples. Oh my God, must be sleepy Frenchman. Livestocky. Okay, so guys, I'm gonna call it a night, guys. We're gonna sing. We're gonna sing. Yes, we're gonna sing. Oh, MacDonald had a farm. E-I-E-I-O. No, we're not going to do any singing, thank God. But we are going to do John 3:16. God so loved the world, he gave his only begotten Son, our Lord Jesus Christ, through the sacrifice of the Lamb of God. So Jesus died for you and I on the cross so that we would have eternal life in heaven. God bless us all. Hallelujah. Then he rose again on the third day according to the scriptures to proclaim what? That he is God. That's it, right? That he is God. That his sacrifice should not go unwarranted. Exactly. So that you understand what the sacrifice is. In order for you to become one with God, and we're all sinners, we all say we're sinners, Jesus. We understand that you died for us on the cross, that your blood was shed so that I may have life eternal with Jesus in heaven. Thanks be to the Father, and God bless each and every one of you. Our prayers, and please pray for the Philippines as they are being hit with a massive hurricane, turning into a massive typhoon. A lot of people displaced, and a lot of damage that's being done right now as we speak. So thank you so much for everybody coming in, and God bless each and every one of you. Anyone that's suffering, and I understand hard times come around. We're in hard times here in Canada. Like I said, we have so many people unemployed here, and we're constantly bringing in new immigrants, which makes zero sense to anyone. You're bringing in more people, less jobs. That means you're going to have higher crime, and you're welcoming that into our country. Like, are you crazy? But that's the facts. That's what's going on in Canada, and that's why I say if someone doesn't like their country, come to Canada. Well, and see what it's like here. After a month, you probably want to move back. We want to move to a different country. We're just looking for one to move to that will support everything that we're doing here. Thank you, and have a great and wonderful evening, guys. I wanted to keep this short, but obviously we had different ideas between me and you and the fence. And we're going to rock you out with Littlest Hobo, and God bless each and every one of you. Take good care of each other. Live long and prosper, each and every one of you. I want nothing but the best for every single one of you. So thank you. Make sure you hit the like button, subscribe to the channel when you can, and thank you, and God bless you. Take good care. SHIB is up with the burns, 592% increase in burn activity. So those that don't know what that means it's reducing its circulating supply constantly. Thank you so much, and have a great night, everybody. For a while. Good night, everybody.